follow that speaker and just go through a few points that were raised which simply are not true. And the first thing is that the talk of dismantling of ACC by the current government is not the case. And the members opposite are using political rhetoric to try and scare the public of New Zealand. They tried it during the election campaign, it didn't work. They try and do it now when we are making genuine changes to a system that will actually enable that system to survive and provide the 24-hour cover that people expected from the AC system. And that's what the general principles that it was built on, to provide that cover. And the National Party is actually making sure in this government that that system can be maintained and deliver for New Zealanders into the future. The Labour Party is also at crossroads when it comes to the full funding issue. They talk about how it's not a system that was broken, it's not a system that's in trouble. Well, they had a major loss the year that they left, and even the last member said in 2008 they were looking at extending the full funding date. And that shows that you had to do that, and that's what this bill does. And it's amazing that the Labour Party looked at it then but won't actually support it now. They won't actually support something that they were going to look at anyway. And when they say that the residual claims are greater than that the assets are sufficient to cover claims, that's simply not the case. There was a lack of understanding of what residual claims actually relates to, and also of what the assets of that organisation are at this moment in time. And John Judge was somebody that had been appointed by the Labour Party to many boards before National came into power, and I think his financial expertise should not be questioned in this House, because he has been shown to have been used by major political parties to deal with issues such as governance of big organisations like ACC. I just want to concentrate on what this bill actually does do, though. It does extend that full funding date to 2019. It gives us 5 years in which we can endeavour to make the system sufficiently viable so that it can fully fund itself in the future. And most political parties are in agreement with that concept. There was only one party at the Select Committee that saw it differently, and that they saw that it should be funded on a year-by-year basis, and that was the Green Party. But the other parties are very much in support of that policy, and it's disappointing that Labor can't vote for it in this House, even though they know they support it. We also see that there are a number of entitlements that have come in recent years, and those recent entitlements weren't part of the original scheme in its first place, and so it's a bit rich to come and say that it's a contrary to the Woodhouse principles. When the scheme was set up, it was set up for a reason, and that reason is what we're trying to endeavour to maintain and achieve by enabling this to be a system that can actually survive and deliver those results. So, in essence, I'd like to thank members of the Select Committee for their work on this bill. It was under a time pressure. I'd like to thank all those submitters that came along and made their views known. We dealt with a number of issues ranging from hearing loss to entitlements, and also the ACC system in general. And many submitters took very much time to provide a good history of the system, and also their perspective on what they want to see out of an ACC system. And so we thank those submitters. I'd like to also thank the officials at Select Committee that provided advice and were there to assist in all members in achieving the changes that the Select Committee came to, which were minor changes but are necessary just to tidy up a few things in the bill so that we can actually have as robust a legislation going forward as possible. So in essence, this bill is there to provide a long-term sustainable ACC system. The government has made the changes that will provide that system, and we commend it to this House, and we look forward to its passage through this House.
I call Lynn